Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, May 30th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by my compañeros this morning. I got my guy TC Stills, and I got the one and only, the lovely Grace Monroe. Folks, how we doing this morning?
Woo! I'm feeling so good. Luis Hill is him. And oh my God, we're not even paying him yet. I mean, we are on house money right now, just looking incredible. We got the win, TC. I know it wasn't always pretty, but it's a win. How are you feeling today, Mr. California?
Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, they just had to resuscitate me from last night. I was in cardiac arrest watching that ninth inning. Oh my God. I told you guys, these Angels, they hang around. They don't go away. Every time we come here, this happens.
You cursed us with that. Don't say it.
I'm not cursing. This is how it happens all the time. Well, I go to these games. They're always close. It doesn't matter how bad the Angels are. They stick around. And I don't know why we just it happens.
They should put that on the shirt. We stick around.
We stick around. Yeah, instead of the rally monkey, it should just be T-shirts that say "We stick around."
We stick around.
Not for nothing. I think this is the first game that the Yankees won in Anaheim Stadium since like 2022, if I'm not mistaken, right? TC.
It sure seems like it.
I'm pretty sure this is the first game that the Yankees won in Anaheim Stadium since 2022. Folks in the chat, fact check me on that. I'm pretty sure. I know my guy Future put it in our group chat. I know the Yankees won at Yankee Stadium against the Angels, but in Anaheim, I think this is the first game since 2022 that the Yankees won. Let's do a roll call before we continue. Shout out my guy Double A in the building. Double A, how you doing, my guy? Salute to you. Salute to you. Shout out my good friend Shanti in the building. Shanti, how you doing? Big time Jerry Cadell is in the building. He says, get your cup of coffee. Let's talk Yankee baseball with your friend and my friend Hector. Shout out to my guy, big time Jerry. Sierra is in the building. Sierra, how you doing? Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. My guy, L.I. Yankee King, the only troll in the Yankee universe I acknowledge is L.I. Anthony Medina is in the building. Brian Gustin is in the building. Salute to all of you guys. My guy, NY Original, is in the building. If you guys can, smack the like button, hit the subscribe button. We are on our way to 5K subscribers, and we are at 4,300. So if you're watching us on X, if you're watching us on Instagram, if you're watching us on Facebook, click the link in the bio. Jump on over to YouTube, help us grow, help us get more Yankee fans in the conversation, and let's keep the ball rolling. For everybody in the chat that wants to be a part of the open panel, like always, like we did on the last episode, hit the emojis, interact with the emojis. As soon as it gets up to 10,000 reactions, I'll drop the link for the open panel. But we got to talk about it because you teed it off a little bit, TC and Grace. Luis Hill. We got to talk about Luis Hill. Dominant performance, 8 innings, a career high. Katie Sharp put it out there on Twitter. Luis Hill in the month of May, 44 strikeouts. He has a 0.70 ERA. Hill is the only pitcher in Yankee history with 40-plus strikeouts and a sub 0.75 ERA in any calendar month. I'm going to say that again. He is the first Yankees pitcher to ever do that. And we're talking about the Yankees that had Whitey Ford. We're talking about the Yankees that had Ron Guidry, who had Andy Pettitte, Roger Clemens, and Luis Hill is separating himself, and he is putting himself up there with amazing names in this franchise. The Minnesota Twins, eat your heart out. How do you like Jake Cave now? Because we got Luis Hill in that trade back in 2018. And again, I'm going to just bring it up. His stats, 7-1 on the season. He has a 1.99 ERA, 79 strikeouts at just in total, 0.95 whip. You got to remember, this kid, he was sent down in spring training. The only reason he was called up is because Garrett Cole got injured. And even when Garrett Cole got injured, he still had to battle with 2 other guys for that spot. And Luis Hill won it. Amazing job. Shout out to Luis Hill. Grace, what's your thoughts about that? And throw it over to our friend TC Stills.
Oh my God, he was putting on a master class last night. I mean, his fastball was dotting the corner. Whenever he felt like it, he could throw that pitch, get the guy out. I kept telling my husband, when the count got full, I kept telling my husband, watch this, it's going to be a high fastball, and they're not going to touch it. Watch this, watch this, watch it. 98 miles an hour on the high corner. I'm like, woo! I mean, I was screaming on my couch watching. It was so thrilling. His changeup was filthy to death. Like, what was I even I'm telling you, y'all, I called for him to have a no-hitter yesterday, and through 3 innings, he had no hits. Then he gave up that one little doo-doo hit, and then he had the solo homer. He only gave up 2 hits all night long. He pitched 8 full innings. This man is on fire. Crazy. And he lowered his ERA from 2.1 to 1.99 yesterday. This man, so let me tell you what I did. I looked it up. This is gonna be my t-shirt. I looked it up, y'all. Has anybody ever won the Cy Young and the Rookie of the Year in the same year? It happened one time. Fernando Valenzuela in 1981.
Fernando Mania.
Fernando Mania, exactly. In 1981, he won Cy Young and Rookie of the Year, and he led the Dodgers to a World Series championship.
That's amazing.
It's never happened in the American League. And what he's doing right now is special. I dread the day when they have to make the decision to pull him or put him in the bullpen or whatever they're going to do for his innings limit just because he's coming off of a TJ. I don't know what they're going to do. I would hate to be the person who has to tell him or make that call. I mean, what he's doing right now is so incredible.
Yeah, go ahead, TC. Let's tell the people. And shout out some folks in the chat. My guy, Richie Rivera from Empire State of Baseball. How you doing, Rich? Go ahead, TC. And also, shout out my guy, NFE from the Strike Zone. Great show this morning. Great conversation. My guy, NFE, he's been getting a lot of guests. I'm so happy to see what NFE is doing over there. Shout out to you, bro. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, NFE is killing it. That Jim Leyritz interview was awesome. I loved it. But back to Hill, there's not much more you can say. I mean, the guy it's been phenomenal. I mean, Garrett Cole, who? I mean, we're not even missing Garrett Cole. This is crazy. Luis Hill is Cole. His numbers are better than Cole last year at this time. I mean,
think about what you just said. Think about what you just said.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Cole was dominating last year. Hill made the Angels look like a high school team. I mean, they had no chance. They had no chance. One lucky, he change up. Hoppy, jumped on it. Solo home run had me nervous, because the Yankees weren't scoring, and that's for later in the show. I'm gonna, I'll tell you about that. But no, Luis Hill, phenomenal. I mean, even his walks are a little bit down. I mean, that's the only knock on him is his walks. I mean, this guy is just filthy. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It could be Cy Young and MVP. Or Cy Young. I don't know. I mean, the guy. What more can you say? It just sucks that he's going to have a limit, and they're going to have to do something. Either put him in the bullpen, or send him down, or just shut him down. But that, as long as he's around postseason, man, that staff in postseason, lights out.
I just want to say real quick, and I'll toss it over to Grace. To TC's point, at some point he may get limited just because of his innings, just because of the Tommy John he had, just because he's coming back off of injuries. Over a couple of days ago, I had the pleasure of meeting former Yankee and former Met Doc Gooden out in Queens. He had a nice pitching clinic that he put on with the kids. He was throwing BPs to them. Interviewed him also. Make sure you guys watch out for that interview. I'll drop it later on, either today or tomorrow on the channel. But having the conversation, I brought up Luis Hill to Doc Gooden, and I asked him, like, what with all these injuries that's going on in Major League Baseball, with Luis Hill and the concerns of his innings, how do you feel about that? And Doc said it's not on the players when they get injured, it's more on the organization, right? He said these injuries that are happening with these players, it's not the fault of the players, it's the fault of the trainers, and it's the fault of the organization. More guys are leaning into velocity, and when you lean on velocity and you try to get that velocity, something's going to crack and something's going to break. Your body is not meant to throw a fastball 99 or 100 miles per hour. Are there some genetic freaks that can do that? Absolutely. Randy Johnson, a genetic freak. He can absolutely do that. Pedro Martinez, a genetic freak. He can absolutely do that. Not everybody can be Pedro Martinez. Not everybody could be Randy Johnson. Right? You got to be able to have the happy medium. We've had Dr. Jesse,
Nolan Ryan. He never even had TJ.
He never even had Tommy John surgery. So not everybody's body is built the same. It's just like when you go to the gym and work out, right? What I do at the gym and when I work out, it may be good for me because it's my body, but somebody else that's dealing with either PCOS, somebody who has diabetes, somebody who has kidney disease or anything like that, they may not be able to do the same workouts that I do. So what I can do for my body may not be good for their body. You understand? So when it comes to Luis Hill, I get it. But let's just be cautious with him and let's make sure we have him not only for this season, but for the future. Because when was the last time the Yankees developed an arm? Luis Severino was supposed to be what we've seen from Luis Hill right now. We thought Luis Severino was going to be Luis Hill. But with Severino, the arm injuries, the shoulder injuries, right? That started barking. We never got a full season of Luis Severino of what he could be when he's healthy. We never got that for 32 games in a whole season. It was either you got it for one half of the season, he was injured, one in the IL, and he came back in September or August and never looked the same, right?
Job
so let's just be cautious. Job is a perfect one. TC, we had Job on the show. We was talking to Job, and what he said he he hated the whole Jabba rules because that messed him up. He knew that the Jabba rules messed him up, having him going back and forth. So let's just be cautious, right? And let's just hope, yes, Luis Hill, he's amazing. Hopefully he can win Rookie of the Year. Hopefully he could be at the All-Star game. All of that is nice, but I want to make sure we have Luis Hill for October, and not only this October, but for years to come. Go ahead, Grace. I'll toss it over to you.
I mean, I agree with you, but I also want the ring. I'm willing to put it on the line. I don't care. See, this is what we were arguing about a couple weeks ago about Mason Miller. I don't give a flying, you know what? Okay. I want the ring, and it's so close I can taste it. And if we're this close, then I don't care. I will put it all. I'll put all my chips in. I'll put it all on the line because you never know about other players' health. You never know. Aaron Judge isn't going to go off like this again. Maybe you don't know if Soto's going to sign long term. You don't know if Verdugo's going to be here. You don't know if Volpe is going to have a 21 game freaking go off crazy hitting streak chasing Joe DiMaggio. This is magic, and when you have magic and you're so close, you got to strike while the iron's hot. You got to push those chips in. And so for me, I agree with what you're saying, Hector, but at the same time, I'm willing to risk it all for that ring. So
no, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, but what I was going to say earlier about Hill was, can we talk about the difference that we can see in him on the hill just this season? The difference in his demeanor, his confidence. He's throwing 98. You know, everybody's talking about, velocity ruining, blah, blah, blah. He looks like he's throwing easy. And they're watching all his metrics really close. You know it. And he walks a guy like you mentioned, Hector, but he didn't freak out about it. He's in control. He's growing before our eyes. I mean, it is what we're watching is history. Like literally, it is an incredible season he's putting together. We're watching it,
No, it is. I just I look back and I'm gonna just throw this out there for Yankee fans, right?
Yeah.
We all remember Matt Harvey. We all remember The Dark Knight. What happened when he went out there against the Kansas City Royals when he was already over 100 innings and he went out there to pitch? He was never the same pitcher after that outing. Never was the same. The Mets got to the World Series. They rode him. They should have took him out of that inning early in the game. They sent him back out there. He got injured, and he was never the same pitcher ever again. It got so bad for Matt Harvey, he had to remove a couple of ribs because he had to do that in order to recover from the shoulder injury that happened to him. So I get what you're saying. I want the ring just as bad as you, Grace. I want to make sure that when the Yankees are celebrating in the Canyon of Heroes, I want to make sure me and Dane, we get arrested for streaking. That's what I want to make sure. Yeah. That's how bad I want to win a championship. Yeah. But I just don't want to risk someone getting injured. Shout out to my guy, Dane.
I hear you. But let me say, last year, the Rangers, they did that. They were so close. They'd never been so close before. I mean, well, they'd never been in that position against the opposition that was so close with the team that they had before, okay? So they pushed it all in. Max Scherzer went out, injured. Adolis Garcia went out, injured. This year they've got DeGrom is still on the IL. Scherzer is still on the IL. Seager started on the IL. Like, their team was beat up at the end, but they got that ring. They got that ring. And do you think any of those players would say, you know what? I wish they'd arrested me and we would have lost. Oh, well, no. They're all going like this with their ring. You know what I'm saying? So I don't disagree with what you're saying, Hector. And I know you're just playing devil's advocate a little bit as well. But it's just, are you willing to risk it? It's a risk. It's a risk.
It is a risk. Yeah, it is a risk.
Are you willing to risk it or not? That's the only thing.
That's the thing. When I'm at the poker table, I leave early. You feel me? I'm not trying to walk. I'm not trying to walk away and let the house take my money. So that's why I went 2 or 3 hands. I'm like, you know what? I could walk away. I'm happy. I'm happy with the 300 I got in my pockets.
See me? I'm like, TC's sweating. I'm all in.
I want to shout out some folks in the chat as we continue. Shout out to my guy Yankee Kyle in the building. Yankee Kyle, how you doing? My guy Nathan Ramachandra in the N&R hours in the building. If you guys can, like we did on the last episode on Tuesday, throw the prayer emoji in the chat for our friend Nathan. You know, Nathan's grandfather passed away. Nathan, you know, we here for you, brother. You know, I love you, my guy. So if you guys can, just throw the prayer emoji in the chat for our friend Nathan. And like always, just tap the emojis, tap the like button, tap the sub button. My friend Erica Garcia said, today's stream is sponsored by the number 21. You know why? Hashtag my leadoff hitter. And that's a perfect segue into the next topic, because we got to talk about Anthony Volpe, the young guy with a 21-game hitting streak. Shout out to Anthony Volpe. When you look at it, right, Anthony Volpe has joined in some unique company. He has the longest hitting streak, but when you look at the longest hitting streaks at the age of 23 or younger in Yankees history, you only got 2 names, Joe DiMaggio and Anthony Volpe. And Anthony Volpe is right on the heels of Joe DiMaggio. You look at his batting average, Anthony Volpe has a 288 batting average, 6 home runs, 23 RBIs, and an over 800 OPS. What more can we say about the chicken Parmesan hero, Anthony Volpe? Grace, go ahead. What's your thoughts about the young king?
Chicken Parmesan hero. Amazing.
He's eating a lot.
I love Volpe. I am so happy that he's having an incredible year. Absolutely. I remember at the beginning of, well, before the season even started, when we were doing the GG show, I said I wanted Anthony Volpe hitting leadoff, and everybody roasted me in the comments. So I'm here to say I'm willing to accept your apology because this man is proving that the grand plan that Cashman had all along was a great plan. Planning to have Volpe at the leadoff, he's growing into that role. 21-game hitting streak. He beat Cano. He beat Jeter. The next one he has to beat is Joe freaking DiMaggio. And let's be honest, he probably ain't going to beat it. That record is probably never going to be beaten. But that is not saying nothing. I mean, he is on fire. He's hitting to all over the field, right? He's spraying all over the field. He's working counts deep. He is, I mean, he's running well on the base paths, and not to mention his defense.
That's right.
He's crazy. And I'm not ragging on Gleyber Torres, but he did pitch it. He did pitch him that ball really, really wide last night in the 9th inning. Volpe made the play. He made the play, and he turned it to first like his hair was on fire. This man he's killing it. I wouldn't be surprised if Cashman has a to-do list, and at the top it says, you know, sign Juan Soto. Number 4 or 5 is we got to look at when we're going to extend Anthony Volpe.
No, definitely. TC, what's your thoughts on that? And folks in the chat, if you guys can, just keep on smashing the emojis. Interact with the emojis that are in the chat. Hit the reactions. When we get to 10,000 reactions, I'll drop the link for the open panel. Go ahead, TC.
No, again, I mean, I called for Anthony Volpe to be leadoff from the very beginning. Yeah. And now we're seeing him thrive. And this is where he should be. And it's, I mean, look what he's doing. I mean, regardless of the 21-game hitting streak, I mean, he's he's just hitting the ball well. He's hitting opposite field. He's going with the pitches. He's seeing the ball. You know, I mean, last year he wasn't ready. It didn't look like he was ready yet. But this year, oh my gosh, he knows these pitchers, and he's taking advantage of them. And the speed, he turned a triple into a home run with the error. I mean,
talk about that.
Without that triple, without him scoring, we're going extra innings. I mean, this team wasn't scoring, but he's the catalyst. He starts it off, and you got Soto and Judge. I mean, what better three in the American League? I mean, in all baseball, I think that's the top three. That's the best, other than maybe the Dodgers. But phenomenal defense. I mean, it's on both sides. I'm hitting and the defense he's impressing me. Last year, I was like, I don't know if he's really a Gold Glove. He's definitely showing me that he deserved the Gold Glove. He's making the throws. I mean, he's making routine plays. He's making fantastic plays, like Jeter type plays. And
it really is.
It's just it's great to see our young kids between Hill and Volpe, and I just can't wait to see the rest of these guys come up. Man, this is phenomenal. I love it. I love to see this.
Yeah, if you look at it right, yesterday's games, the hands were all Luis Hill and Anthony Volpe. Luis Hill, Anthony Volpe, their fingerprints, their handprints was on the entire game.
Nobody else did anything.
Without those two guys, we don't win that game yesterday, right? And I know we're gonna get into the offense. I'll save my take for the offense as we go on. But Anthony Volpe, over his last 10 games, he has a 341 batting average. He has 14 hits, 7 runs scored in his last 10 games. That is phenomenal, right?
Wow.
And one of the things that I wanted to talk about with Volpe is his defense, right? Gold Glove shortstop. The first half of last year, his defense was a bit shaky. I'm gonna just be honest. When he first came up, it was a bit shaky. He got better as the season went on. Right. But one thing that I hear people talking about, right, is the fact that people say without Anthony Rizzo, Anthony Volpe doesn't win that Gold Glove, right? And to a degree, I get what you're saying because of the first half of the season. But Anthony Rizzo didn't play for the last 2 months of the season.
Yeah,
Anthony Rizzo didn't play in August. Anthony Rizzo didn't play in September. So it's not like Anthony Rizzo was there for the entire season saving Anthony Volpe. No, Rizzo didn't even play for the last 2 months of the season. Rizzo himself wasn't even considered a top defender at his position because of the concussion and everything that happened. So when that argument, when that gets presented, it's a 50-50 for me because at the beginning of the season, before he had that concussion thing with Tatis, yes, Anthony Rizzo's glove was saving Anthony Volpe on a lot of errors. Absolutely. I'm not going to argue against that. But as the season progressed, as the season went on, Anthony Volpe got a lot better at his position. His arm strength improved. His range to the ball improved. The way Anthony Volpe was covering shortstop, it improved as the season went on. And you're seeing it right now. The one thing that people had to criticize Volpe was his arm strength. Look at it now. Are we complaining about his arm strength now? I don't think we are. He's making he's making throws on the run. He's making throws in the hole. He's diving for balls left and right. He was up the middle, right? I'm not sure if you guys saw that. He was up the middle as I think it was, I forgot who hit the ball, but he shifted to the second base side of the bag. And as he shifted to the second base side of the bag, the guy hit it to where the shortstop is supposed to be. And Anthony Volpe was able to recover in half of a second. Right, you watch that highlight again. You see Volpe take a step to the right, and at the last second, jet back to the left and get back to the shortstop position. That right there, you can't teach that. That's instinct right there. So I just want to take this second. Yes, Anthony Rizzo deserves credit because he's a solid defender. He's a solid leader in that clubhouse. But put some respect on Anthony Volpe's name. The second half of the season, for the last 2 months, Rizzo never even played. So you got to give Volpe his flowers. If he doesn't win the Gold Glove this year, I'm not sure if he should ever win the Gold Glove ever because he is defending better this year than he was last year, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I agree.
And everybody's talking about Bobby Witt Jr., right? And what's his name? Holiday guy. What's his name? Jackson Holiday was supposed to come up.
No,
Gunnar Henderson from the Gunnar Jackson Holiday went
down.
Oh,
thank you. Sorry, wrong team. Gunnar Henderson was playing. Is everybody's talking about Gunnar Henderson, right? Nobody's talking about Anthony Volpe as much.
Right.
The Jackson Holiday kid was supposed to come up and play shortstop. Gunnar was going to move to second. But he didn't end up working out. They sent him back down. He may be back up again. Who knows? But Volpe's been holding it down. And Gunnar would hit like a little oppo whatever and run out the base hit, right? That's what everybody was talking about. Then Anthony was like, oh, bet, watch this. He started doing it. Little competition never hurt anybody,
Well, like Erica said, Bobby Witt is having a great year this year. I don't want to take anything from Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt is having a phenomenal season. The Kansas City Royals themselves are having a phenomenal season. TC, you at the beginning of the year when we was having the conversation about surprise teams, I picked the Kansas City Royals because I really like their farm system. I like their prospects. I'm a big fan of Bobby Witt, and I'm a big fan of a lot of their pitching prospects. I thought the Kansas City Royals, with the way that the AL Central has been performing over the last several years, I thought the Kansas City Royals this year would surprise a lot of people, and they are surprising a lot of people. They have a lot of good young talent that's coming up in their system. I want to touch on a super chat that Double A brought up. Double A with the 199 super stat. Yes, Severino in 2018 was 19-8. Absolutely. The first half of the season, Luis Severino's ERA was basically almost at 2, right? Luis Severino, for that first half of the season, Luis Severino and Jacob deGrom, they were competing at who is the best pitcher in New York. And what happened to Severino? He went to Houston. That's when Houston had the bang bang trash can situation. The Houston Astros, they knew Luis Severino's slider was coming, and they just slept on it. They just let it go. They spat on it. They didn't swing at it, right? So what did Luis Severino do in order to try to beat the Astros? He started throwing more fastballs. He's tried to throw 101, 102. And what happened? He hurt his arm. And after that start against the Astros, Luis Severino was never the same again. So in 2018, yes, he did win 19 games, but he struggled the second half of the season. And at the end of the season, it came out that he was injured and he should never even pitch in the month of September. So that's the point I was making when it comes to Sevy. But we're gonna get to a new segment right now. We're gonna call it the Roundup. I wish I had a graphic to have like a cowboy with like the whole like lasso and stuff like that. But this is a Roundup segment where we're gonna talk about topics from yesterday's game that didn't sit well with us. My guy TC Stills, you've been fuming over there. You've been shaking your head back and forth like a bobblehead. Let the people know what pissed you off about last night's game. Go ahead, TC.
Okay, well, they had 6 hits, but guess what? They had 9 walks. And they left way, way, way too many men on base yesterday. There's no way that none of them scored. They had a solo home run by Verdugo and that Little League home run by Anthony Volpe. That's their 2 runs. They had so many men on base and they didn't capitalize. And that's what frustrates me about this team. Because if they would have lost that game for Hill, I would have probably broke my TV. I don't know. Because this offense needs to find ways to score other than a home run. I've been screaming about this for years, and they're not doing it. For some reason, they just are in love with the home run. And I really wish that they would. I mean, you could chalk it up to bad luck. Maybe the wrong guys are up at the time when men are on base. I just don't understand. But leaving that many men on base, especially with this team, the Angels, they stick around. I've been saying this off the air. I was telling these guys, the Angels give us problems every time they come to Anaheim. They just something about the fans, because it's 90% Yankee fans and 10% Angel fans. So the Angels get up for these games because they don't play in front of like a sellout crowd ever until the Yankees show up. So they get up for these games, and you let them hang around and don't capitalize on all these runners. It's just very frustrating to me. And I don't know what they got to do. But, I mean, they got to find a way to score other than a home run. It's just, that's it.
Grace, I'll throw it over to you to give us your bad news from last night's game. Give us your roundup topic. What did you hate the most? I'll toss it over to you, and I got to turn my AC on because I'm sweating right now. Go ahead, Grace.
What did I hate the most? I have a couple things I could talk about, but the thing I hated the most was the umpiring. Can we please talk about the what are we going to do about this umpire situation? When they called the infield fly rule and then threw Soto out anyway, even though it should be a dead ball.
You're right.
Once they call infield fly,
Mhm.
Everything is frozen, and the batter's out, and that's it. What are we going to do about these umpires, y'all? I was hot under the collar after that. After he got thrown out, and then Boone came out. Look, y'all, Boone knew he was going to get thrown out as soon as he left the dugout. He knew. He did it for his guy, Juan Soto, and he did it for his team. But regardless, after that, Verdugo comes up to bat, and he checks his swing, right? And they call to the third base umpire, and he says, strike. I'm like, what? This is out of control. There is no recourse for these umpires. They just decide however they feel.
Yeah.
And Thomas Jefferson once said, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I couldn't agree more with old TJ Tommy Jefferson because there's nobody to police the police. There's nobody to watch the umpires. Who do they answer to? Nobody. They literally had this infield fly situation just last week. And the people in New York, with the White Sox, the people in New York said the runners should not have been called out. And then what happened last night? They still called the runner out. And so what's going to happen now? They're going to go back into the game and change it? No, they can't. They won't. They ruined the inning. We had bases loaded. Y'all, what are we going to do? I don't care. Get video replay. Get AI robots. I don't care. I'm done.
No, Grace, I think you're echoing all of our sentiments because that's what I wanted to touch on. I wanted to touch on the umpiring specific. No. This is why we're a team. You feel me? Two genius minds think alike. So this is what I wanted to bring up real quick, right? And I'm gonna share the screen. You guys know I love going to grading the umpire scorecards, right? So when you look at it, Brian Walsh yesterday, right? His accuracy, they got him at a 92.5% accuracy. I always says Major League Baseball, they want their umpires at 95%. He is below what MLB wants from their umpires, right? His expected accuracy is 93.3%. So MLB, they know he's not 100%. So they expected him to be at 93, but he was at 92. So he was less accurate than he was expected to be. Accuracy below expected. He's 0.82% lower than what they thought. This is where TC is going to be pissed the fuck off. And this is where everybody else is going to be pissed the fuck off at. When it comes to runs impacted per call, look at it. It's all the way in the blue. The Yankees got 0.12 runs, and that's because it was all impacted by the umpire calling balls and strikes. How many I think the last at bat Aaron Judge had with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
That ball was out of the strike zone. A 3-2 count. And he called Aaron Judge out. There was several. Juan Soto struck out looking on a ball that was 5 feet in the other batter's box. So yes, TC, I'm frustrated with you. We should have scored more runs, but I'm not going to sit back and say the umpire wasn't complete dog shit yesterday because that umpire behind home plate, he was complete and utter doo-doo. He was poo-poo ka-choo. When you look at it, right? I just brought up his scorecard. He was worse than what he was actually expected to be.
Yeah, there was an at bat. Sorry.
And no consequences.
No. I'm just about to say, like Grace said, when the day when Major League Baseball implements robo umpires or implements AI, whatever they figure out, I'm not going to be crying for these umpires because they do it to themselves.
Bye.
They do it to themselves.
Goodbye. Yeah.
Go ahead, Grace. I'm sorry.
Dude, I was just gonna say there was an at bat with DJ. You guys probably remember it was late in the game. I can't remember what inning it was, but DJ gets up to bat. The pitcher throws a high ball. They call it a strike. DJ, the most calm, like professional hitter type of guy ever, just kind of like looks around. He doesn't like react emotionally, but he just kind of like, really? All right. Next pitch, same thing. DJ fouls it off. He's like, all right, I guess this is how we're doing it. This man proceeded to see like 9 pitches or something in this at bat, 10 pitches. He was like, you know what? I'm just going to foul it off until you walk me. And that's exactly what happened. He had a long at bat, a professional hitter, a professional get on baser is what DJ freaking LeMahieu is. He worked that at bat and he got on base. He said, okay, if you can't beat them, join them. I will
Yeah.
foul off every motherfucking pitch you throw my way until you throw 4 balls and I get on base anyway.
Mhm.
Do you know what I'm saying? That's a veteran professional guy who's unemotional, who's just like, all right, if this is how we're playing it, this is how we're playing it. This is what I'm going to do. How else are you going to succeed? In a system where there is no recourse for these umpires. You have to win playing their game. That's what DJ did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think I know what happened last night. They
go ahead.
The umpires saw Grace's video on Angel Hernandez.
That's what it was.
And they love the publicity, so they all want to repeat, and they want to triple down on their mistakes.
I think Grace she has to put another video out calling out Major League Baseball. But I love Erica said I love that we shit on analytics and then we rely heavily on stats so much. LMO, no hate. Well, that's not me. I've always enjoyed analytics. I love the WOBA, I love the FIBA, I love the DIPA, I love the STAPA, whatever the buzz is, I love all the buzz. TC would tell you I'm somebody that I'll bring up all the analytics. I think people that hate analytics,
memorizes the stats too.
People that hate analytics, they just don't know how to use a calculator properly, right? That's how I feel about people. If you hate on analytics in 2024, you just showing you don't know how to use the calculator properly, right? If you need a tutorial on how to do long division, just hit your boy up. I'll let you know. Shout out my guy Ultra Cowboy Fran in the building. My guy FL Divers in the building. Go ahead, TC. I'll let you go off real quick because when you bring up the hitting, it's something that being better with runners in scoring position. Because it's not Anthony Volpe, it's not Aaron Judge, it's not Juan Soto, it's everybody else in the lineup. If everybody else can step up and hit and perform when those guys aren't hitting like Judge and Soto last night, then we would be good. It's just we can't just rely on Juan Soto and Aaron Judge every night. That's unfair to them. That's unfair to everybody in the lineup if we're just relying on those two guys to drive in the runs. We need everybody else to step up, especially when Juan Soto and Judge, they don't get a hit. So shout out to Doogie for being the other one of the only other hitters not named Volpe, Judge, or Soto to step up. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, the problem last night was the bottom, more so the bottom of the lineup. And my pick this series, Stanton, he hasn't shown up either. So I'm a little surprised too. But what's up, Phil? Love Phil. Yeah, and unfortunately, we're seeing the decline of Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo is he just can't hit anymore, and it's sad. They've had to move him back down even further. I understand, Trevino and LeMahieu at the bottom, they'll give you a hit here and there, but they're not counted on for, especially DJ just coming back. But Rizzo and Glaber back to back. It's none of those guys came through. But I just want to Grace's point on the whole that infield fly. So the whole reason they made the infield fly rule to stop the double plays, them dropping balls and getting a double play. So if you're going to have the infield fly rule and you're going to call the runner out, what the heck is the purpose of that?
Exactly.
The runner is out. The batter is out automatically. Everybody else can remain on their bases, or they can go at their own, whatever. They can go if they want. But Soto was on the base, and Soto went around the guy. Gave him room. He went back into Soto. So that was a terrible, terrible call by the umpire. And they should have all the other umpires should have got together and overruled and said, you know what? That's infield fly rule. The batter's automatically out. You can't just call out the runner. So I don't understand it. These guys really got to get together on the same page. And that should have been challenged in New York. They should have fixed that. That's uncalled for.
I'm not sure. I know Aaron Boone can't challenge infield fly rule. I know there's certain things you can't challenge, like an infield fly rule, balls and strikes. You can't challenge if the person went swung or not. If the first or third base coach is saying that they went or not. So there's some things that you can't challenge on. I wish you could. Major League Baseball, they should clean that up, especially when it comes to.
But there should have been a discussion.
No, that's what I'm saying. If it's something that it's if the umpire's on the field, if it takes them a while to come to a conclusion, then call the office in New York City. Get another person, an outside person, to get on the conversation. I get it. They want to speed the game up and try to go through it as fast as possible. But who impacts the game more? Do the umpires impact the game more, or do the players impact the game? Let's just have this conversation. Who impacts the game more? TC, who do you think?
The players should impact the game the most. I mean, not the umpires, but the umpires want the publicity. They want to be part of the game. That's the problem.
And that's the thing. The umpires, they have been impacting the game more.
Yeah.
The players impact the game when it comes to their performance on the field. But the players, they can't do anything if the umpires aren't calling the rules strike, right? If they're not calling strikes and balls fair, if they're not calling the game down the middle, if they're not following the rule book, there's so much that you could do as a player.
And they have the ability to eject the manager for any reason they feel like, even if the manager didn't say one word out of his mouth. When we saw that earlier this year, they ejected Aaron Boone for what a fan said in the stands. And are you kidding me? It affects the game. What if it was I know they have different criteria for the umpires in the postseason, but what if it was a postseason game and a man threw a ball or a foot off of the plate and the guy calls it a strike? What can you do? Nothing.
Nothing.
What can you do? Nothing.
They have too much power.
Not a damn thing.
It's ridiculous.
It's like Grace said, if you guys watch The Watchmen and know The Watchmen, it's like Grace said, who's watching The Watchmen? Who's watching the umpires? Who's holding the umpires accountable? The same way, right? The players, they have to talk to the media after every game when they mess up, when they make an error, when they make a mistake. Why can't we get just one of the umpires coming out and talking to the reporters afterwards? Why is that? Why is it the manager gets to get interviewed? Why is it the first base coach, the third base coach is getting questioned in the locker room? Why is everybody else associated with the GM gets questioned in the locker room? Everybody else gets questioned except for the other guys that are on the field who are impacting the game just as much as the players are impacting the game. And again, I don't want this to just be a roller coaster of us complaining about the umpires. But when you look at it, that umpire yesterday, he was doo-doo. He was doo-doo ka-choo. And I want to put a pin on that conversation. Let's move on real quick. We're going to throw it over to TC to read the lineup. Let's read the lineup from last night's game, and let's just do some key takeaways from last night's. Go ahead, TC.
Yes, my favorite part of the show. Anthony Volpe led off 2 for 5. He had that clutch triple turned into a home run, batting .288. What can you say? 21-game hitting streak. The guy's on fire. Juan Soto, another hit, 1 for 3. Had 2 walks, batting .312. Still clutch. Aaron Judge, 0 for 3, but he was on base. He had 2 walks. Still at .275. Love that. My big pick to click there, Big G, 0 for 4. 1 walk, .230. Maybe today's the game. I don't know if he's playing. We'll see. Hopefully he goes yard. Alex Verdugo, big clutch home run, 1 for 4. He had a strikeout, batting .260. They switched him and G in the lineup. I was curious about that. Gleyber Torres, 0 for 2 with 2 walks, .227. He's hanging around 200. Anthony Rizzo, 1 for 4. He did have a smart play, though. I want to bring up on Anthony Rizzo when he did block that ball, that DJ LeMahieu. He blocked them from having a double play, so that was a very smart move there. He's batting .245. Jose Trevino, 0 for 3 at a walk, .275, and DJ LeMahieu got credited with that hit that went off of Rizzo's leg, and he had a walk and a strikeout, 167, but it's good to see DJ back in the lineup.
Yeah. Maybe take this away real quick. When you look at the lineup, to me, it's kind of hard for us to do something when you got Soto, when you got Judge being walked back-to-back 2 times apiece, right?
Yeah.
So we need the guys around Soto, not Anthony Volpe because he's doing it, but Stanton, Torres, Rizzo, and even Trevino, who slowed down. Trevino was killing it at the bottom. I know DJ LeMahieu, he got his 1 hit. We need other guys to step up. When Juan Soto and Aaron Judge aren't driving runs in, it is crucial that the other guys step up, because if not, teams aren't going to pitch to Soto and Judge. If nobody else behind them is hitting, why, if I'm a major league manager, why am I going to pitch to your 2 guys if the other guys behind them aren't hitting? And that was our issue last year with Judge, especially when Judge was out. We had nobody hitting on our team. Go ahead, Grace.
Yeah.
That's it. I noticed I don't know, I guess I noticed a couple innings in that the lineup had changed a little bit. I got so used to having the same lineup every day, which was so nice. But I saw they moved Stanton up to cleanup. And I actually liked Verdugo in cleanup. I know he's not a traditional cleanup hitter. We talked about this before on the show, but I actually preferred him behind Judge. I think he offers a little bit more threat, a little bit more protection for Judge because he's such a threat to hit a double or just to put the ball in play. Stanton,
he's more of a contact hitter.
Right. Stanton is a power hitter, so sure, he's got the power threat. But against right-handed pitchers, it's not. I don't know. I love Stanton. I'm not saying anything bad about him, but I liked him hitting a little bit further down. I preferred Verdugo in the cleanup spot. I saw they dropped Rizzo quite a bit. It was just a little bit different lineup. I was going to ask you guys how you felt about the little bit different second part of the lineup last night.
I thought it was okay, right? It still gives you the right, left. Right, left, right, left. It still gives you that in the order, but if DJ LeMahieu, if he could hit and he could just start turning it on, then you could flip flop him and Torres and have DJ hitting above Rizzo and having Rizzo in that 7th spot. It's just I like it because you take some pressure off of Anthony Rizzo, but Anthony Rizzo is not the same Anthony Rizzo from 2 years ago, not even from last year, man. He's not the same hitter, and I'm not trying to just blankly say Anthony Rizzo is washed. No, it's just Father Time is undefeated. And if there's one thing that's undefeated, it's Father Time. And Anthony Rizzo, Father Time may just not be on his side anymore.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yep.
Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. I totally
good.
agree with what you were saying. I would move DJ up and I'd move Rizzo down. But this was the lowest Rizzo had hit. They mentioned it on the broadcast. This is the lowest Rizzo has hit in like 15 years since he was a kid. So
lefty was pitching though. Lefty Anderson was a lefty, slowly. So that's I think
there was, and they did move him down because he is hitting. Verdugo is hitting lefties better than Rizzo is hitting lefties, and normally Verdugo for his career struggles against left-handed pitching. So we need to try to figure something else. I don't think at the and Erica brought it up. I don't think there's going to be a first baseman that's available at the trade deadline that makes sense for the New York Yankees, right? If Pete Alonso is available, the New York Mets aren't trading with the Yankees. Let's just put that to bed. And with everything that's going on in their locker room and their chemistry in that clubhouse, I don't want Pete Alonso and that toxicity coming over here. So I pass on Pete Alonso. Besides that, there's really no first baseman that's ready. I know Ben Rice is in the minors. Augustine Ramirez is in the minors, but they're not even ready right now at the moment. So when you look at it, we may have to ride Rizzo for the rest of the season unless there's some first baseman that presents himself closer to the trade deadline. At the moment, I don't see one available. Who is it?
Josh Bell from the Marlins might be available. He's a switch hitter. Possible.
Is he going to give you better numbers than Anthony Rizzo? Because Josh Bell's not having, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, let me look.
He started off slow, but he's coming out stronger lately. But no, I mean defensively he's not Anthony Rizzo, but I mean he gives you it's a bench guy. That's what we need. We need a guy that can kind of come in there, occasionally and give Rizzo a day off. Because I almost thought they were going to put DJ LeMahieu at first yesterday and have Cabrera at third because of the left-handed pitcher. So they didn't do that, but just for clarify, they hitting basically the same. Josh Bell is hitting 242, 27 RBIs, 19 walks. Anthony Rizzo 245, 25 RBIs and 14 walks. Bell is struck out 48 times. Anthony Rizzo 43 times. They basically identically the same type of hitter. I do like the switch hitting potential of Josh Bell. I think in a smaller ballpark like Yankee Stadium, his numbers will be a lot better. But again, it comes down to his defense. His defense is a big question mark, right? And if we're sitting here complaining about Anthony Rizzo's defense, do we want a first baseman that's worse than Anthony Rizzo defensively to go on the same side of the infield as Gleyber Torres? Just think of it. You're gonna have both Josh Bell, who's horrible defensively, on the same side with Gleyber Torres, who is also horrible defensively. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's maybe right. Maybe it may could work out, but I'm
just a bench player. I'm not telling him to take over for Rizzo. Don't get on. Don't come kill me. But just we need some help on the bench because our bench is weak.
Rizzo will be gone after this year.
He will.
I guarantee it.
Him and Glaber are both gone.
Him and Glaber, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I do agree on that. So I'm gonna put the link for the open panel in the chat. Like always, everybody is welcome to come onto the open panel. Just always remember, let's be respectful. Let's follow the rules and terms and services of YouTube, Instagram, X, Twitter, all that. You guys are more than welcome. I bring you guys up as you guys appear in the queue down below underneath us on StreamYard. Shout out to my guy, the Strike Zone. Verdugo gone too. Yeah,
it's possible.
It's gonna come down to if Verdugo. I would say Doogie will have to be gone just for the money.
Yeah, Verdugo, you got Dominguez. We got Dominguez. What are we gonna do with Dominguez?
No, Dominguez ain't going nowhere. Okay, he's off the table, and I don't want to hear no talk about it. Okay, is Verdugo a possibility if the Yankees can't sign Soto?
Yeah. I think Verdugo would be a backup plan. Yeah, definitely. Verdugo would definitely be a backup plan. And I don't think I heard someone yesterday when I was having a conversation with them. They're like, "Oh, but what if Verdugo signs first?" I'm like, Verdugo's not going to sign first because Verdugo and every other major league position player is waiting for Juan Soto to set the market for everybody else. So no other position player is going to sign until Juan Soto signs and sets the market for everyone. So that's not gonna happen. Just like it was some pitchers that signed early, but Yamamoto, he set the market for a lot of pitchers, and it actually hurt Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery because they thought they was gonna get something similar to what Yamamoto got, and they ain't the type of pitcher. They're not as young as him. They're not seen when it comes to like what he's done in Japan and stuff. So yeah, Juan Soto, he's gonna set the market for other players.
100%.
What about you, TC? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, exactly. No, there's no. They're going to be sitting around waiting for the Soto deal, kind of just like how they were waiting for the Yamamoto. Once Yamamoto got signed, then it looked like a lot of people started signing. But yeah, same thing. Soto's going to set the price, set the market, and everyone else will just fall in.
Patrick Sinclair, my fault. I hit the button in my chat. I deleted your comment from my chat. My fault, bro. Patrick Sinclair said Yankees should acquire DJ Stewart, lefty power. He plays outfield and he plays first base. He has a 380 on base percentage this season. Listen, I wouldn't mind that either. Again, Patrick, my fault. I just clicked the button by action. I deleted you from the chat. I don't want to think you think somebody did that on purpose. My fault, brother. Appreciate you like always. Shout out to my guy Mark Teamaker in the building. Mark Teamaker says Cabrera can play first. DJ can play first. Forget next year. Win now. No,
guy.
if DJ could hit and he could play first base, put him at first base. It's all going to come down to who's the better hitter, Cabrera or Anthony Rizzo. Right? Yeah. For the first month and a half of the season, it was Cabrera. Cabrera was the way better hitter. Cabrera has fallen back down to reality. So we got to ask ourselves, who do you trust more with runners in scoring position in a big spot? Anthony Rizzo or Cabrera? Me personally, going off of what he done for the first month of the season, first month and a half, I would say Cabrera. But knowing the New York Yankees and how they operate, the Yankees, they may have more confidence and more trust in Anthony Rizzo and may be more willing to put Anthony Rizzo in a big spot than Cabrera.
I saw some good things from Rizzo last night. I saw him putting the ball in the air a little bit. I hadn't seen that in a freaking hot minute. I saw him going oppo a little bit. Like, he's trying. I'm not saying, oh, it's okay, he's trying, but he could still turn the corner. I'm not ready to pull the chain and be like, you're benched or whatever. But I don't think that a day off would hurt Rizzo at this point. Like, give him a day off, let him work on some stuff, let him reset his mind and come back. Like, so I mean, we still have some options there. But yeah.
It might be today. Another lefty for the Angels is Sandoval, right? I think so.
I think that'd be a good move.
So Rizzo might be, we might see DJ at first and Cabrera at third. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's an early game too. It's at 5:00 in the afternoon on the East Coast. What is that over there? 2:00 over there on the West Coast? It's an early game today on Thursday. Yeah.
Oh shoot!
I'm pretty sure it's an early game.
If I'm gonna go, I better get going, huh?
It says 8:38 for me in Central Time.
No, it's the same thing. 6:38. No,
It's 9:30 tomorrow. Tomorrow. No, wait. I read the time wrong. Okay, yeah, it's 9:38 today. Okay, 9:38 today. Never mind. Don't worry about the program change. It's all good.
We're gone in Sandbar.
So I'm gonna bring up the fellas. I got Jonathan, I got Sean Browning, and I got Li Yankee King, my guy Kaiba backstage. I'm gonna bring them up in that order. So I bring up Jonathan,
Big time
Sean
Jerry.
Browning,
Come on, Jerry.
and then I'm gonna bring up Li.
Yeah,
and then again, I'm gonna put the link for the open
He's
panel
so afraid.
in the
Why
chat.
is he afraid? Come
If
on.
anybody want to come up, Mark T Maker, if you want to come up for the first time, Patrick Sinclair, you guys are more than welcome to come up for the first time. Smack the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Li,
we just move things around.
I haven't seen Li in a while.
Move the Li be doing his thing, bro. He be hosting Twitter Spaces. He be hosting Twitter Spaces at night. My guy Li is killing it. Jonathan, let me get a thumbs up, bro. Let me. All right.
WrestleMania.
My guy Jonathan. Jonathan, how you feeling, bro? Let's get your take, my
good,
guy.
Good.
Jonathan,
go ahead, bro.
I'm doing well.
What's your takeaway from the game last night? What had you frustrated?
Frustrated? I actually enjoyed watching Louis Hill. I would.
Yeah.
I was on the space. I was on with the chat earlier talking about Louis Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And look, the only concern is how much to push him in terms of innings, and how to reduce his innings. This one option I had is maybe have him go down the stretch 5 to 6 innings maximum, regardless of pitch count. If he's pitching well, that's the way to reduce his innings. But again, you don't. It's a very big conflict with Hill because at one hand, he's probably the front runner to win Rookie of the Year right now. At the other hand,
him and Miller, him and Mason Miller.
Yeah. At the other hand, he's coming off of Tommy John surgery, and you want to be very careful because you don't want him just to be a one-year wonder like what was that? The guy, Spencer? I forget his name. In '98.
Strider?
No.
Oh, Shane Spencer.
Shane Spencer. Shane Spencer was a one-year wonder, very good in '98. Same with Kevin Moss.
Yep.
So you don't want Louis Hill to go into the same conversation as those two guys. So
yeah. Well, when it comes to Kevin
Moss,
he's
at 63 innings right now. So what do you think? You think you cut him off at 100 or 110?
No, probably 120 to 130, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I don't.
Maybe
know.
When Cole comes back, they just shut him down.
When Cole comes back, you can. The only real solution you have is to limit his games to 5 to 6 innings, maybe his outings, 5 to 6 innings, then go to the bullpen. I don't know. I'm not. I'm only speculating. I don't know how best to handle that situation. On one hand, you want Hill to continue to dominate pitchers, win Rookie of the Year. On the other hand, you want him to pitch like this for the rest of his career.
What if, Jonathan? What if they wait until Garrett Cole comes back to take that take that spot in the rotation? Then they pull Hill's innings back to 5 innings again.
Yes.
What if they did that?
If they did that, that's something that can completely be done, especially if Cole comes back pitching like the way he pitched last year. No one will argue about that. But look, there's a lot of ways to deal with it. On one hand, you want the guy to pitch well, continue pitch, win Rookie of the Year, win a World Series. On the other hand, you want to protect his arm and his long-term health.
And I think that's the point Yankee fans gotta understand. It's like let's look at the long-term projections when it comes to Louis Hill and not just the short-term projections. And I just want to bring up a name real quick because it's a bit funny. Right now, in Major League Baseball and the American League, we have a pitcher who has a 9-1 record. He's pitched 78 innings and he has a 1.72 ERA. I'm going to ask you guys, do you guys know the name of this pitcher? I guarantee you none of you guys know.
Is it Mason Miller?
Nope.
No.
He's
on the Phillies. He's on the
closer.
Phillies. I can't.
Nope.
No,
He's not on the Phillies. He's not on
there's
the
a
Phillies.
guy that's 9. There's a guy on the Phillies that's dominant.
There's a guy on the Phillies that's 9-1. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the American League. I said the American League.
Say the stats again. I didn't hear it.
The guy on the Tigers.
Nope. He's 9-1. He's 9-1. And again, he's leading all of Major League Baseball in like innings, right? So he's 9-1. Ranger Suarez from the Phillies is 9-1. No, he's not. Right. He's not a rookie, right? He is a veteran. He's been on multiple teams. He is 9-1. He pitched in 12 games. 12 games started, 78 innings.
I don't know.
Averages 7.58 strikeouts per 9 innings. He has a 1.72 ERA. Does anybody know this pitcher's name? You guys are gonna all lose your fucking mind when you guys hear this name. Nope. I got a hint. He was a former Met pitcher.
A Met?
Oh yes, I know who you're talking about. No.
Seth fucking Lugo.
Yes, that's Lugo.
Seth Lugo is pitching for the Kansas City Royals. He has a 9-1 record. He is leading all of Major League Baseball in ERA.
Hey, the Royals spent some money in the offseason. They were like they spent the third most of any team in the offseason this offseason. They're trying to be somebody out there.
That's the most Met thing I ever seen in my life. Hold on, I'm gonna look up to see how much Seth Lugo is making this year. Seth Lugo, he signed the 2-year, $15 million deal with the Padres. Hold on, wait, and then he was traded. Let me see what's he's making this year.
Fourth most. They spent the fourth most money in free agency this year.
Wow.
Seth Lugo is making $7.5 million this season. $7.5 million. And he is leading Major League Baseball in innings pitched. He is leading Major League Baseball in ERA. He is 9-1 on the season, tied with Ranger Suarez. If you have a Met fan that is out there, go find them. Go give him a hug. Maybe go help him get to better help so they can have a therapist who can help him out with this situation. Jonathan, let me throw it over to you. Let me get your last statement before I bring up my guy Sean Browning. And Mark T. Maker said, how do you get up here? Mark, I'm going to put the link to the open panel. You see it in the chat, right? This comment right here, just click on that link. It'll take you to the internet browser for StreamYard. Go ahead, Jonathan. Let's get your last take, brother.
Well, my last take is when Cole returns, I do not want to move Lewis Hill out of the starting rotation. Lewis Hill needs to continue to be in the starting rotation regardless of what they do with Cole. So as of now, if I were to make the decision, I would say Cortez probably goes to the bullpen when Cole returns.
I agree.
It's a good option.
Yeah, it is a good option. Oh wait, can't. Yeah, sorry, my phone's acting.
And it's a good problem to have. Never have enough pitching.
Too many started right now.
That's okay.
You can never have too many starters.
Never have enough.
You can never have too many starters. Jonathan, I appreciate you, my guy. I'll see you out there on these Twitter streets, brother. So I'm bringing my guy Sean Browning next to join the conversation. Sean, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to rock out. My guy Sean got the thumbs up. Let's see. Sean, how you doing, my guy?
What's up, Sean? Oh, look at him. All sharp.
Looking sharp, baby. Going to work?
Yeah, I got work after this. I got to
my
do
man.
Security at a finance building. But
nice.
No, it's fun. I mean, it is kind of frustrating because the umpiring was frustrating me, especially with the infield fly rule and the stupid interference call that was like made no sense.
Doesn't.
And it wasn't even interference because where's Soto gonna go?
Exactly. Where's he gonna go? He has to be on the base.
Yeah. So, but other than that, hey, the pitching rotation, man, is on fire. What is it, like 16 or 17?
Yeah, it's a record now.
There's like 6 innings and let fewer than 2 runs. 16 starts of 6 innings or more.
I think it's 5 innings.
Or 5 innings or more, and less than 2 runs, or 2 runs or fewer.
Nobody's ever done it.
Yeah, that hadn't been done since 1893.
1893. There weren't even cars back then.
Yeah, that was like Cy Young and a few other people, and those pitchers were pitching like every other day.
Good point, Sean.
Good point,
You're
Sean.
right.
Sean,
So,
with this conversation about like Luis Hill and what should we do with him? What we want to hear from you, bro. What do you think the Yankees should do with him coming down the stretch, bro?
no, keep him in the rotation. I would almost venture to say and be bold enough to say, put him between Rodon and Cole.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Just because Stroman's been good, solid too, but there's just something that the fire that Hill brings, and the team feeds off, and then you have Cole before him doing what Cole does, and then you got Rodon, who's crafty and he can be dominant at times when when his stuff's there, and then you got Stroman and Schmidt to follow through, the rotation. Because with Cortez, his problem is he's inconsistent on the road. And
They
the
did
fact
good in
that,
Anaheim.
his shoulder, he had shoulder issues yesterday after, or last year.
Mm-hmm.
I would bring him in the pen. And then later on in the season with Hill, if it starts to show that he's getting fatigued or whatever, rotate or have Cortez like along with his starts.
Yeah.
So then that way it's just smooth. Because the chemistry, just like with your lineup, you want everything to be,
Even kill.
smooth. Yeah, even kill, smooth, and balanced. Because you don't want to mess with that, and then everyone's out of a funk.
So how many innings do you think they should limit Hill? 150?
Yeah, I wouldn't go too far past 150, but they're saying they're no. But I mean, I would be like zeroing in if I was looking at the advanced stuff or whatever. At 120, 130 innings, I'd be like, all right, let's make sure that his elbow and all that, because then, what are you gonna do when his arm blows out?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's
exactly.
a huge loss. Yeah.
And you
Sean,
lose
my point is Anthony Volpe your starting shortstop at the All-Star game? I forgot to ask my last person we had up here. Is he a starting shortstop?
Viva la Volpe, man. Viva la Volpe. Because
my guy Sean,
he's killing it. He's solid, fundamental all around, offense and defense. I know Gunnar gets a lot of love.
Yeah.
But I take Volpe over it.
Big facts.
Yeah.
And Volpe is my franchise shortstop for the next how many years he plays. I'm not moving him.
That's it.
There you go. Same. Sean,
Yeah.
I appreciate you, brother. Like always.
Yep.
Always come up here with the fire takes. Always come up here looking sharp. You have yourself a good day at work, my guy.
All right. Hey, y'all be killing it
Appreciate you. Appreciate
you.
you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. So I got a first timer backstage. I'm going to bring up the first timer, Mark T. Maker, in a second. But I got my guy, L.I. Yankee King. I'm going to bring up the young Kaiba. Let me get a thumbs up, bro. Let me know you're ready to go, Kaiba. My guy, L.I. Yankee King. What is good?
All
my
right,
guy,
L.I. Good to see you, brother. What's up?
Out here, he's out here cosplaying as William Rotunda. Go ahead, L.I. Talk to the people.
Since we're on the Luis Hill topic, last night I was doing a space and Dane said probably the best idea I've heard for Luis Hill is let him go 2 innings with Nestor being his bulk guy to get for the rest of the season and get into 130 innings. So I wanted to give Dane that credit because I don't want to steal that idea from him because that was his. So I'm like, got to give credit.
Good for you, Li. That's classy.
Shout out to Dane. And also, Li, shout out my guy, L.I. Yankee King. Like, if you guys aren't following him on Twitter, make sure you guys follow my guy, L.I. Yankee King. He does do Twitter spaces at nighttime. It is great conversations. Dane co-hosts it with him sometimes. I'm up there. It's good convos. I love seeing that you're doing that, L.I. Keep doing your spaces, bro.
Yep. And
is that when Cole comes back? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah. That's when Cole comes back.
Okay, yeah.
Because you don't want Luis Hill in front or behind Cole.
Right.
Because that's going to mess Cole up. I'd rather do that with Cortez than Cole. Because I'm not messing with Cole. Cole's days are Cole's days. He's a picky son of a bitch on those days. Let's go with Nestor. Nestor can be fine because he's going to be out anyway after this year. He gone. We're having Brock Selvage come up anyway. That dude is stud though.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And this goes to Li's point, like Ross said in the chat.
Uh-oh, you're muted.
He shut his mic off.
He said,
What
"Oh,
happened?
sorry. I was gonna read the comment. Throw the comment back up, Hector. I'll read it. One reason to pitch heel in the postseason as a starting pitcher is because he has the stuff that misses bats. You need that in the postseason. Boom, right there.
Yes.
That's it.
100%. 100%.
Yep. Lefties can't hit him. Righties can't hit him. Ain't nobody hitting this man right now.
Yeah.
That's so valuable in the postseason.
Yeah.
And
Starting pitchers are key in the postseason. Huge.
Yeah. And you need to have pitchers that have swing and miss stuff. And Luis Hill, he has swing and miss stuff. And to like Ross said, and sorry before I unplugged my microphone, when you look at it, if we're able to have Luis Hill, like Dane said last night perfectly, let him start every game, let him go 2 to 3 innings, let Netzer Cortez come in after him. You're still keeping Luis Hill on his regimen, so he's ready to go in the postseason. What you don't want to do is start Luis Hill, let him sit from 12 days, expect him to come back after 12 days, still being able to pitch the same way on the same regimen. You're just going to mess him up in the long run. Just allow him to pitch on that regimen that Dane said. He laid it out perfectly. Let him go 2, maybe 3 innings, depending on how he's looking, depending on his pitch count. Let him go maybe 3 innings and stuff like that. And that's how you should handle him down the line. Because when Garrett Cole comes back, it just makes it better for us. When you look at it, there's not that many teams, and I'm gonna knock on wood right now. It's not that many teams in Major League Baseball can say that their starting 5, 1 through 5, has been lights out the way the New York Yankees starting pitching has been lights out. And we're coming and we're bringing back the reigning AL Cy Young Award winner. That's like trading for a number 1 ace at the trade deadline.
Exactly.
You're inserting him to something that's already been great for you. It's not like the starting staff's been trash. It's not like the weakness of our team is our starting pitching. No, the weakness of our team is like hitting with runners in scoring position, like TC says. The weakness of this team is well, I'm gonna take that back. Not hitting with runners score, but more like hitting into double plays. Double plays is the weakness for this team.
And left-handed relief pitching. Because our left-handed relief pitching is Victor
fucking
Gonzalez
hate Caleb Ferguson and Victor Gonzalez.
Is the weakness.
Li, I want to ask you before I let you go, brother, and bring up Mark. Is Anthony Volpe a shortstop for the AL All-Star game? What's your thoughts?
I'm sorry, but it's Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt's having way too good of a damn season. I can't be biased. It sucks that Volpe is behind Henderson and Witt.
Yeah. Shortstop's loaded.
Yeah, shortstop is just way too loaded this year with the AL. If it was like Bobby Witt of like 2 years ago and Gunnar Henderson and Gunnar Henderson was in the minors still, then it's like, okay, Volpe starting, that's pretty easy. But Bobby Witt and Gunnar Henderson are absolutely going off. So those are probably the two shortstops. And Volpe will probably be a replacement.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you always being non-biased. And like I said, bro, keep doing your thing on Twitter Spaces. Keep hosting those spaces, bro. I love joining you at nighttime, my guy.
I will, and hopefully I don't have spaces open until 10:30 in the morning when I wake up.
Yeah, later, Li. That's my guy, Li Yankee King. So we got Mark T Maker backstage. This is a first timer for our guy, Mark T Maker. Mark T Maker, he's been following the channel for a minute. Mark, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to come up. Let me know if you're ready to come up. Give me a thumbs up in the screen. Just put it on your camera. Just put it on your camera. Just go like this on your camera. Oh, there you go. So I'm gonna bring up Mark right now. This is my guy, Mark T. Mark, how you doing?
All right, Mark. Can't hear you.
Wait, the audio. Let me just make sure his audio is good. Hold on 1 second. Mark, how about now? Can you hear me now? I think Mark is having audio. Do you have headsets that you could plug in, Mark? Yeah, plug those in real quick. Let's see real quick. Try to get our guy Mark T Maker in here to join the conversation. Because like I said, Mark's been following us. Mark's been in the chat for a minute. So I want to be able,
maybe reboot.
I don't. Mark, refresh and join back in. Sometimes that helps. Just refresh the feed and then join back in. Mark, sorry about that. So you got Eli, you got something else to say? You forgot to say something? I guess Li must have joined by
Big time
mistake.
Jerry, where you at? Big time. Come on, Jerry.
Big time Jerry, what you doing? So I'm gonna put it right here until Mark T. Maker, if he joins us back. Not sure if he's going to be able to join us.
Where's Damien today? No Damien?
Oh, Damien he has families. He messaged me that he has family over from out of town, so he won't be able to make the show. Shout out our guy Damien Serrano. Shout out everybody that was in the chat. This was a great conversation.
Smooth vocals.
I got one more topic to bring up. This has been a topic that a lot of people online for some reason is upset about and frustrated. I don't know why, but I want to bring it up real quick and want us to have the conversation and get everybody's thoughts on it. So Major League Baseball announced that the Negro League players and the stats will be included in the stats with Major League Baseball as the MLB welcomes aboard Josh Gibson, Oscar Charleston, Buck Leonard, Mo Stullies. There's a lot of great Negro League players that played. Hank Aaron started in the Negro League. Jackie Robinson started in the Negro League. Satchel Paige. The list goes on and on and on. And I appreciate the fact that in 2024, we can highlight those stats and those players finally being brought over and integrated the proper way. And this is the argument, that some people don't want to have. But when the NBA and the ABA, when they merged the leagues and they brought those players over, their stats came over. When the AFL and the NFL, when they merged and those players were integrated and they came over, those stats came over as well. So how can you say that you have an issue with Major League Baseball at first integrating those players and bringing them a part of their league, but not including their stats? That to me, it head scratches me that people are getting upset about it. They're not telling you why they're upset about it. They're just screaming that they're upset about it. Me, I think it's awesome. 2024. I'm not saying that the softball league in Staten Island, their players should be in, their stats should be in with Major League Baseball and the Negro League stats. No, I'm not saying that, but it's good to see that Major League Baseball is recognizing these players because they're contemporaries at the time. Babe Ruth, in so many different interviews, he talked about how Josh Gibson was a better hitter than him. And this is coming from Babe Ruth himself, right? Walter Johnson used to talk about how Satchel Paige's fastball was faster than him. This is not us just taking it out of our ass and just throwing it into thin air. These are these players from back then that are saying it, right? When the MLB All-Stars used to play against the Negro League All-Stars, the Negro League Stars used to beat them. It's not like the MLB All-Stars were just going into town and just whooping them all the time. No, the Negro League All-Stars would beat them just the same way that they would beat them. So, Grace, I'll throw it over to you. Let's get your thoughts on the convo real quick, and then throw it over to TC.
I think it's great. I think it's a shame it took this long, and it should have been done, like you said, should have been done way back when they integrated. They should have done it right then and there. Then we wouldn't even be talking about it in 2024. But I think they have the coolest names. when you put up the graphic with all they had the coolest nicknames. I wonder if any of the records have changed. I want to know. Like, that's cool. I want to know.
And this is the one thing, right? This one, like, I was having a back and forth with this one person on Twitter who had an issue with it, and I said, okay, I'm gonna ask you a question without looking it up, TC, right? Can you tell me who led Major League Baseball when it comes to batting average in a single season? Can you tell me who was the leader before Josh Gibson is now? Can you tell me who was that person?
In the Negro League or the
no in Major League Baseball, who led Major League Baseball, who had the record before Josh Gibson now has it, who had the record for the highest batting average in a single season? Can you name me that player?
I'd say Ty Cobb.
It's somebody by the name of Hobby Huff. Who the fuck is Hobby Huff? Who the fuck is Hobby Huff? Does anybody in the chat have anybody heard of Hobby Huff before? I just
poor Hobby.
Right
Never heard of him. Maybe my dad did. Jared, big time Jerry. You heard of this guy?
He held the record for batting average in the season. I think he hit like 430 in a season once, and now Josh Gibson is the leader, and people upset. Josh Gibson hit 466 in a season, and for some reason people is upset that Josh.
Amazing.
Hobby Hucks is my boy from the block.
Yeah, him and J-Lo.
Li Yankee King said, who exactly, Li? Who the fuck is Hobby Huff? All right. So yes, okay, I get it. Right now, Josh Gibson, he's the leader, career batting average leader. when it comes to
Cool.
Major League Baseball. He has a 372 lifetime. Ty Cobb's is right behind them. And I think the reason why Major League Baseball did this, right? Because when you look up Ty Cobb and you look up what he did in the back, he has a horrible history. Ty Cobb was a horrible, horrible human being. And the thing is, when you look him up online
Dirty
for
player.
his stats,
Very dirty.
Major League Baseball, they don't even put a picture on his stats. They don't even have his pic. Every other person has a picture. It's just a blank fucking like a gray cutout of a person we're supposed to be.
A lot of people were
Wow.
sus back then. But, there's not as much respect on Hank Aaron's name as there needs to be. Have you looked up Hank Aaron's freaking stat line lately? Have you looked at what that man accomplished? And nobody really talks about him that much. Why? You know why. I'm just saying, you know why. So, I mean, come on, integrate them. Let's go. Let's learn the real history. I mean, I think it's great. It doesn't hurt anybody. Everybody calm down. You're not personally a personal victim of this.
Facts. Facts.
Touch grass, you're fine. And Hank Aaron was a badass motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. When you look at Hank Aaron, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Come on.
Isn't the thing? He had the record for home runs before Barry Bonds. Hank Aaron, he never hit 50 home runs in a season. That goes to the level of consistency, years and years and years of 40 home runs. And then again, like I said, he started his career in the Negro League. So the first 2 or 3 years of his career, he was a shortstop playing in the Negro League, being a shortstop and being a pitcher. Didn't even count, like Grace just said.
Yeah.
So go outside, go touch grass. There's other things in life to be that should be have more energy and concerns right now. But when you look at we look at Hank Aaron, one of the best seasons, 1959, when I think he was in Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken. 355 batting average, 223 hits, 39 home runs, 123 runs batted in, 636 slugging, 1.037 OPS. OPS plus was 183. Total base over 400 total bases. That means doubles. That means triples. That means home runs. He wasn't just one dimensional, right? So shout out to Hank Aaron.
Yeah,
he's my GOAT.
Yeah, he's the example. Yeah, he is. Hector, good for you.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying.
My GOAT.
He is the example because he was integrated, literally. He did some years in the Negro Leagues, and then he came over and he freaking raked. So look at Hank Aaron. I mean, anyway, I let me just shut up. But
very humble guy as well.
Yeah, cool guy.
No, Sarge, this is where I disagree with you. Ty Cobb literally used to kidnap young little black kids because he thought having a short little black kid and visiting towns where he used to go to was good luck charms for him. So Ty Cobb used to go to visiting towns, visiting cities, and kidnap little black kids and bring them into the dugout because he thought they were good luck for him. There's no redeemable qualities about Ty Cobb, none whatsoever, at all.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Right.
Also, too, allegedly, I had to look this up. I didn't believe it. When Babe Ruth played, do you know what the average miles per hour of a fastball was?
Oh,
82.
70 miles per hour.
I was going to say 69.
70.
70 miles per hour. 70 miles per hour. And then when I was reading the articles, they was like, that's average. So there was some pitchers that were throwing 75 or maybe 80. The only pitchers that were supposedly on the books at throwing 90 miles per hour was Bob Feller and Satchel Paige. Those are the only two pitchers that people said actually threw 90 miles per hour. Everybody, Walter Johnson also, the big train Walter Johnson.
What is that,
so those
in the 20s and 30s? Is that where you're?
Okay. And also for the first like 2 or 3 years of his career, ground rule doubles were considered home runs when Babe Ruth played. So there's no like official record of how many of those home runs were ground rule doubles. Because look how big the field, the Polo Grounds was 550 feet to center field. Like no wonder ground rule doubles were home runs back then. Because look how big the ball fields used to be.
Yeah, but
old Yankee Stadium monuments in the middle of the field. So oh God, I've seen old videos
of Mickey Mantle having to go around the Babe Ruth and the Lou Gehrig statue.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but you can't go
Crazy.
back and like cherry pick, well, this was different back then and this is different now and blah, blah, blah. You just got to count it all.
Yeah,
and,
just count it all.
Just count it all because this is my argument. I always tell guys like when we're in college and they're like playing their little electric guitars in the dorm room or whatever. And they're like, Jimi Hendrix ain't shit. Watch this. And I'm like, okay, but yeah, Jimi Hendrix did it first. So yeah, you can copy him, but you didn't invent it. You didn't innovate it. You didn't, pioneer. Like TC said, you didn't pioneer it. You're just copying him. So congratulations. You know what I mean? Like it's not the same.
Yeah.
In 1963 or whatever, when Jimi Hendrix picked up one of the first electric guitars and said, "I'm going to make an album with an electric guitar," and it was new and different. Nobody was. Now every 17-year-old kid has an electric guitar. You know what I mean? Like it's not the same.
Guitar Hero.
It still counts, just like the Negro League records count. It all counts. It's all baseball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things change. People. You could even say like, oh, well, people are on protein shakes now, and people are doing this and that. And back then, they ate freaking chicken fried steak right before they went up to bat. Like I don't know.
Smoke cigarettes. Yeah.
Yeah, smoke cigarettes. Stayed all night drinking.
They hot dogs and cigarettes and beer and
yeah. Back then when Babe Ruth played, you broke your ankle. There was an 80% chance that you could die from gangrene.
Oh God,
so yes,
damn.
that's how times was different. Times were definitely different. But no, this was a great conversation. Like I said, the Yankees, they do play later on today. I will have a pregame space on Yankees Twitter. So if you guys aren't following me on X or on Twitter, click the link in the bio. Follow me, follow my social media accounts. I will be putting out my interview with Doc Gooden. I'll be putting out either later on today or tomorrow as well. Make sure you guys tune into us during the week, next week, Tuesday, next week, Thursday. Make sure you guys interact, watch the shorts. Grace put out a short about Angel Hernandez. That was hilarious. Shout out to Grace for her amazing take on Angel Hernandez.
So dumb.
So funny.
No, great. Grace fits.
I called her the next Melissa McCarthy. She is hilarious.
We're all dumb. We're all dumb-dums here, but it's all good. We're sitting on 49 likes. We still got 115 people watching us. If you guys can, click the link, jump on over to YouTube, smash the like button. Let's get up to 50 likes on the stream. Like always, appreciate you guys all for supporting. Shout out to Big Time Jerry, my guy, Old Sarge. Mark T. Maker said, sorry about that, Hector. I would try to figure it out next time. Mark T. Maker, all you need to do is make sure you have a headset that has a microphone that you could plug in. The same headset that you have, I think you could go to Five Below and find the same thing for $5 that has a headset and a microphone, so you could join us. Like I said, Mark T. Maker, he's been supporting us since day one from the beginning. So I would love to have Mark come on, just like Old Sarge came on. We want to have everybody in the community coming on. Shout out to Sean Browning, my guy, L.I. Yankee King. Big Lou, maybe Big Lou could come on one of these days. Shout out to my guy Big Lou in the building as well.
Double A, where's
Grace,
Double A? We need
any last words, Grace? Oh yeah, shout out to my guy Double A in the chat. Love my unk real quick. Grace, any last words for the people?
Let's go Yankees. Let's go run on. We got one more game in Anaheim, and then we're heading up little north, right? San Francisco's a little north. I'm so good at geography, y'all. If you need to copy off my homework, just let me know.
6-7 hour drive.
Okay, cool. 6-7 hours. That's a normal commute in Texas.
Shout out to my brother, mi hermano de la isla, my guy Anthony Medina. Medina, what it do? I just wanted to, now that I saw Anthony in the chat, I just want to mention this, guys. I told you guys on Tuesday that I was going to career day yesterday, right? I was at this public school out in Queens. Amazing kids, awesome time, awesome people. Thank you so much to the faculty for allowing me to come over there, my dumb ass to come talk to the kids about content, about interviewing people. The kids had a great time. I shared one video with Grace and TC, and they could tell you that it was a good time. But one thing I want to tell you, Ant, I met a guy yesterday, right? And I'm working with him exclusively. He already starts it. I can't take any credit, so I'm going to go out there and I'm going to help him. But my guy out there, he's in Puerto Rico. He's in Aguadilla in Puerto Rico, and he is bringing a AAA team to Puerto Rico, right? He's still trying to figure out what major league team is going to be affiliated with, but a AAA team will be coming to Puerto Rico. It is called Los Tiburones de Aguadilla, basically the Sharks of Aguadilla, right? You guys know me. I'm Puerto Rican. I lean heavy into my culture. I can't wait till I'm out there so I can cover, interview minor league players, go out there. So Anthony, just want to let you know, in Aguadilla, be on the lookout. A AAA team is coming to our island, to our home. And I just feel I have goosebumps right now talking about it. When I was talking to the guy yesterday, I was just like, I wanted to cry, because when I play MLB The Show, I kid you not, I could turn it on right now and show you. For the past 5 years, every time I play MLB The Show and I create my team so I can play online, I always name them Los Tiburones. I always name them Los Tiburones of Puerto Rico. I always name them the Sharks. And I always had, and for some reason, he had the same exact image that I will always use. So it's like the ancestors or like divine intervention wanted me to meet this guy. So just be on the lookout.
Okay.
I'll be dropping more content around that. It's just, I'm super excited. My guy Medina says that sounds amazing, Hector. Absolutely. I can't wait for my first time being out there on the island. Hopefully I can have Grace and TC with me as well, and we can have a good time out there.
Yes, absolutely. I speak a little Spanish. I'm not gonna lie. And when I went to, and I'm from Texas. And when I went to Puerto Rico a couple years ago, I talked baseball with more people there than I do here. I'm not lying. They love baseball out there. There's baseball fields everywhere. If you drive around, you see them everywhere. Kids playing baseball. It's like, it's awesome. I think this is great. This is awesome.
Yeah. TC, last words for the people before we get out of here, brother.
Yeah, great show. Great. Thanks to everybody that showed up in the chat and on the live stream. And can the Yankees score some runs today, please? And not
we can't end
not
that.
frustrate me. Don't frustrate me today.
We can't end it like that.
Please, for my guy TC, can you guys score runs? Get some runs. Move a guy over.
Let the Angels stick around, please. Don't
rely on the home run. Just go out there and score some runs without relying on the home run. But no, honestly, I appreciate Grace. I appreciate TC. Appreciate everybody in the chat. My guy Joe Caputo from the shift. Big time Joe. Hey, Joseph, my guy. I know you and I are supposed to be jumping on a live stream sooner rather than later. Joe, my guy, I'm free all day tomorrow. I hit you up on Monday. Crazy over here. I get it. Joe, send me the link and I will join you tomorrow, please. I want to hang out with my friend. I want to talk about, just let everybody know. Me and Joe, we text each other about like Pokemon, like Game Boys that are like modded after Pokemons, right? So we'll let you know. Joe's my guy. Me and him, we text about other stuff besides baseball. Shout out to my guy Joe from the shift. Does an amazing job over there. Love that man. Definitely, if we was in an alternate universe, that man would be my brother. I already know that. This is my guy. I love my guy, Joe. Make sure you guys go and follow him from the shift. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, drink some water. Say something positive about yourself. And if you're on the internet being a misogynistic piece of shit, go out there and touch grass. That's all I'm going to say. And until next time, deuces.